Hi everyone, Amy here with Amy's Wares, and I have a unique embossed birthday card to share with you. So let's jump right in. Now this is the lotus flower. It's a 3D embossing folder from All to New. If you guys have watched my vids, you've probably seen me use various different 3D embossing folders. But here are a couple photos to show you the direction that we're headed. This was really super easy. It gave me a chance to use up some of my colored cardstock here. I have a piece cut down slightly smaller than US A2 size, so it's I think 4 inches by 5 1/4, and I did spritz it with some water before I line it up in here and run it through off screen through my Spellbinders Platinum 6. Now the trickiest bit here is just lining it up, because you want that margin around the outside of the image to be straight all the way around the lotus flower. So that was honestly the trickiest bit, was just kind of making sure it was in there without having to trim it down further, because this is already a panel that was fully ready to go, so I want to make sure I didn't have to trim it or straighten anything out. So you'll see me messing with it a little bit here just to make sure it's perfectly straight, but other than that I just run it through. Check whatever sandwich for your particular die cutting or embossing machine just to see what works best for you. But I like these All to New 3D embossing folders because I find that they're not particularly thick. I know like some of the Sizzix ones, or like the Tim Holtz 3D, I feel like they're probably twice as thick as this embossing folder. So look at this dimension, guys. I can't even handle it. This is why I come back time and time again. But I'm going to kick it up a notch after I'm done throwing my blending brush around. But I have some Hero Arts Unicorn White Pigment ink, and I just have this blending foam, and I'm just kind of light-handed brushing right over the tops that are really raised. Now on this one, you'll see I do kind of start getting a little bit of ink in the recesses, kind of around the design, but my way to offset that was just to kind of go all around and kind of deliberately add little spots with white on it, because it gave it a really cool distressed look, and then I didn't have to worry about being too fussy and trying to stay only on the raised portions, and I really like how it ended up turning out. But by adding this pigment ink on top of the black cardstock, it really just brings it to life and really pops out that design even further. So this is such a cool, unique design. I don't know if that's kind of like mid-century modern around the edges, but here you can see I'm kind of deliberately going over the lower parts of the black cardstock just to kind of rough it up in general, and kind of even out the points where the blending foam kind of put ink where it wasn't originally intending. So I'm going to come through again just a couple times over the lotus part, just to really make sure that part's nice and bright white. And then that's going to be it for this part. You're just going to set it aside and let it dry. So you could probably hit it with a heat tool, but then you risk it maybe kind of flattening those fibers in the paper back out, so I would just let it sit. Now here I'm shopping my sentiment book. This is my storage solution. These are baseball pockets, and I have this really cool die also from All to New that, as you saw, I ended up using, but I wasn't convinced at this point. I wanted to keep flipping through my book and see what was going to work best for this layout. I had considered doing like a black sentiment strip with white. That would have been an option, or I was also considering these Pink Fresh Studio Perfect Sentiments, just because they would kind of fit the design as well. But ultimately I ended up going with that All to New cut out of the holographic paper, and I felt like it was a perfect fit. So I did actually just use, can't remember if I used liquid glue. I'm guessing I used my micro dots. I use Artist Hack micro dots just to put that down right on the design and press it. And then I have some liquid glue and these crystal resin droplets just to put in odd numbers around the scene. And that's going to finish the card. So super easy, but so much wowza dimension. And I really like the distressed look that I got from kind of pouncing that blending foam all over on the cardstock. So I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please hit the thumbs up and consider subscribing, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.